everybody. Lord Tremendous here. Got a battle report here for you. 2,500 point battle, and this wraps up battle report number 3 against Vince V, who came out on his Warhammer YouTubers World Tour. And yes, this is a great one. It is I, Lord Tremendous of the Undead Legion, versus Vince Ventrilla of the Brentonians. And yes, this is an excellent game. It's a lot of fun. And get ready to see how it goes.
Assemble the army!
Here's my list, and before I get into it, I want to tell you a little story about what happened. I have changed my list semi-significantly. Vince played after my game against him with the Skaven, and if you haven't watched that one, why are you watching this one? This one, the last one, you should watch the other one in order to really appreciate this one. But anyway, after my game against Vince's Skaven, we went and grabbed lunch. When we came back, one of the members of my club showed up, and he brought his dwarves, and him and Vince got a game in. And Vince played his Tomb Kings, and Vince has a 5-kitty list. That's right, I didn't stutter. 5. And it was gorgeous to see 4 kitties, and he also had the Archon on his Morghast or whatever, Morgeist, whatever it is, as a proxy for one, but oh my god, I had kitty envy like I can't even begin to tell you. So, with that being said, I changed my list just a bit, and I have 2 kitties. I'm borrowing one of Vince's for this one, but yes, I couldn't help it. I wanted to try 2 kitties in a list, and well, you'll see how this goes. So here's my changed list since the last one. I still have a Tomb King, Lord Tremendous. He's got a shield, Sword of Anti-Heroes, Armor of Destiny, Dragon Mage Gem, and the other Trickster Shard. And I really like the Tomb King, especially in my big unit of skeletons. So Sword of Anti-Heroes makes him a meat grinder. Armor of Destiny gives him a chance. Dragon Mage Gem gives him a better chance. The other Trickster Shard is just too cool not to bring. I also have my Master Necromancer, Queen Elizabeth, who's a level 4 wizard. She has the Staff of Sorcery. I had to take her Seed of Rebirth away, but I had 5 points, didn't know what to do with them, so I gave her the Pigeon Plucker Pendant. Why not? And she's still using the Lore of Vampires. And then, of course, I have my hero choices. I have a Vampire, Dark Vincent, who's a level 2 wizard, on the Coven Throne with the Heavy Armored, Great Weapon, Charm Shield, Talisman of Preservation, Quick Blood, and Lore of Death. Like this kit, too. I like having, I'm not sure about the Lore of Death on this guy, but having an extra or level 2 wizard running around on the Coven Throne is very fun. The heavy armor is obvious. The great weapon, I love having strength 7. I don't like losing his initiative 6, so I threw quick blood on him, so I still go on initiative 6. I don't get rerolls, but hey, they cancel each other out. They go at 6. I like that a lot. The Charm Shield, I know he can't use it in combat, but outside of combat, it's great to catch a cannonball. I also like this thing because I get the Coven thrown out for 200 plus points cheaper, and if the vampire dies, it's not game ending. You know, it sucks, but the Coven thrown is really what I'm after. Then, of course, I have a Karn Wraith, Sinister Jeffrey. I'm on the fence about the Karn Wraith. I think the Necrotech would be a little bit better, giving me the Hatred, and not to mention with multiple kitties, or hell, even just one kitty, giving me the regen. But I did like having the Ethereal. The Strength 5 is nice, but he doesn't get the weapon skill bonus, and you know, with even if I do get like, you know, always strikes first with the Coven or with certain things or whatever, he doesn't get the reroll. I don't know what to do yet with the Karn Wraith. I'm still toying with him. Then, of course, I have my Necromancer, Tardum Fune. He's a level 1 wizard. I put him on a corpse cart with a Dispel Scroll and the Lore of Vampires. And I put him on a corpse cart because I wanted to try one. I didn't give it Balefire or the other thing because, to be perfectly honest, I didn't know what I was going to face, and I would forget. Plain, simple, and to the point. I'm not going to remember that my opponent gets a -1 to cast because I'm just not going to think about it. I should think about it. I should put it on there. I might later on down the road. But at this moment, I've forgotten all about it, and it's a brand new thing, so it's just the corpse cart. I threw it in there just because I like the idea of giving everything within 6 inches of this thing, what's it called? Always strikes first. I just think that that's a really, really cool thing to do, and for things like my general and stuff like that, I just wanted to try it, so I threw him on a corpse cart. I have a proxy model for this, so I apologize, but it's the best I could do at short notice. My core choices are pretty much the same. I have 5 direwolves, 2 units of 5 skeleton horsemen archers, the unpainted ones being the cannon plugs. Both have a banner. A unit of 58 skeleton warriors, the blood slakers with full command, hand, weapon, shield, and 13 skeleton archers, the wizard's guard with full command. My special choices are a spirit host, Whispers of Pain, the original Chimerian War Sphinx with Fiery Roar, and another second Chimerian War Sphinx with Fiery Roar. My rare choice, of course, is my Casket of Souls, or the Ultra Tremendous. My opponent's list is as follows. And again, if there's any mistakes with this list or anything like that, it's probably on my end, not Vince's. He sent it to me in a text format through an email, and I read it the best I could. It came in a little scrambled. So if there's any discrepancies, feel free to put them in the comment section, but chances are it's on my end, not his. His general was a Bretonnian lord with a shield, Knight's Vow, Barded Bretonnian Warhorse, Gromroll, Great Helm, Dragonbane Gem, Sword of Swift Slaying, and the Virtue of Heroism. And I honestly don't know what some of that stuff is. The virtues and stuff and the vows. Okay, 7. He also has a Prophetess of the Lady, who is a level 4 wizard, on a Barded Bretonnian Warhorse with a Dispel Scroll and using the Lore of Heavens. His hero choices were a Paladin with the Knight's Vow, who's on a Barded Bretonnian Warhorse, had a lance and a shield, and used the Virtue of Impetuous Knight, whatever. He also had another Paladin with the Knight's Vow, lance, shield, Barded Bretonnian Warhorse, Armor of Agaluf or whatever. I hope in Age of Sigmar, when they redo all this stuff, that they get rid of the words that are hard to pronounce, like Agaluf. What the hell is an Agaluf? Couldn't you just say like Aggie or Angela or a? I mean, come on. Does it really need to be that difficult to pronounce? Does it have to? It does. Whatever. I'm a whiner. With the virtue of noble disdain. And another paladin with the Knight's Vow, lance and shield, Bard of Bretonnian Warhorse with the dragon helm and a luckstone. And another paladin who was his BSB with the Knight's Vow, a lance, Bard of Bretonnian Warhorse, Dawnstone, and an enchanted shield. His core choices were 11 Knights Errant with full command and the Errantry banner, 11 Knights of the Realm with full command and a banner of Chalons, and 10 Peasant Bowmen with Musician, Defensive Stakes, and Braziers. Ooh, dirty. Not those kind, it was a little torches. His special choice is a unit of 6 Pegasus Knights with full command, and his rare choices were 2 Field Trebuchets, 9 Grail Knights with full command, and the Banner of Eternal Flame. Here are my spells, which are what you're looking at. And before we begin, like I said, he played a game against some dwarves, and I got a few pictures I have to share. And I also got some great pictures of some of his Bretonnian stuff, and I wanted to share those as well. So here you go. Yes, you're welcome. I know. I treat you too good. I do. I spoil you. Here's deployment, and for the most part, it's Bretonnians. I know they're coming to me. It's kind of their thing. I know they're gonna pray, so I know I get to go first. So I just kind of sent it up on the right there to help defend my flank. I figured his Pegasus would come after my casket, so I positioned my vampire in such a way that he could use his Coven Throne to full effect against the Pegasus Knight. Maybe I'll even roll well for Battle of Wills, and it'll finally come into play. The kitties were flanking both sides of my main combat brick. I had my scouts in the middle there of the 2 impassable terrain pieces with the sole purpose of plugging it. I mean, that was their purpose. The other unit of scouts on the left flank, they were going to go after the trebuchet crews and hope to roll some 6s. Like I said, kitty on the left there, that's Vince's red kitty. I was borrowing it because it just looks so cool. And then, of course, I have my Warhounds, my Spirit Host, and my Corpse Cart on the left middle there. Their job was to run defense. Not the corpse cart, but the dogs and the spirit host. They can march because they're within 12 of the general. So their job was going to go out there and just redirect or slow things down or whatever it was. The kitty on the left flank, whatever it was, the scouts gummed up. The kitty was supposed to countercharge, and you'll see how well that works later. My skeleton warriors, my archers, and the kitty on the right, their job was to deal with the skeleton warriors were going to deal with whatever charged them because I know something was going to charge them. I had very little delusions that I was going to get a charge with my infantry. The kitty, on the other hand, as soon as he could, was going to counter charge, hopefully into the flank of something, and those 4 killing blows, and the rest of the strength 5 and stuff like that. Maybe even the breath weapon could kill 1 or 2, and just hopefully through attrition be able to kill enough of these guys that they lance breaks, or at the very minimum I am able to, get points through killing characters with killing blow and stuff. That was the hope. The casket, of course, is on the far right side to bait the Pegasus. I knew they were coming, and hopefully, he gets tunnel vision, goes after the casket, and my Coven Throne with a vampire gets a choice charge. That was the hope. That's why I deployed like this. Here's Vince's right flank with my scouts and a unit of, I believe those are his Grail Knights right there. And here's his center. From left to right, there's his 2 trebuchets. That's a unit of knights. I think they were the Knights Errant, but I'm not 100%. He's got multiple paladins. I believe his BSB is in there, and his prophetess is in there as well. And right next to them is his unit of peasants. And his left flank, which consists of, from right to left, his Pegasus Knights, and the other units of Knights, I believe those were the Knights of the Realm, and the rest of his characters are pretty much in there. Here's my right flank, which consists of my Casket, my Coven Throne with Vampire level 2, and my main kitty. And my center. From right to left, there's my archers with level 4, my warriors with Karn Wraith and Tomb King installed, my dogs, my spirit host, and my level 1 on a corpse cart. Again, that's just a proxy model. And on the far left there is my scouts and my second kitty, which I'm borrowing Vince's amazing red kitty for. Here's top of 1 after movement, and as you could have predicted, because this is Bretonnians, I went first. There was no reason for my scouts in the middle there to move, so they didn't. The kitty moved back a little bit to better position himself for a counter charge. Spirit hosts and dogs moved up, getting ready to plug things up and hopefully redirect, things like that. Corpse cart moved up slightly, but not a whole lot. It can only move 4 inches. War Kitty number 2 moved in such a way that it could help out the Coven Throne, because I started to get a little nervous about the Pegasus getting too froggy. The Coven Throne, of course, just threw all facade to the wind and went over and defended the Coven Throne, because I have a lot of plans to use my Coven Throne to full effect this game. Yeah, that's pretty much it. During the magic phase, I get Gaze and the Gash off on his bowmen, and I kill 3 of them, which was enough for a panic, but with all the knights and BSB right there, they didn't go anywhere. And then my scouts take some pot shots at the trebuchet crew, and I actually kill one, so hey, awesome, first blood. Nothing else interesting happens in top of 1, so we go over here to bottom of 1 after movement, and the Pegasus Knights go 20 inches right to the middle. Both of his big lances and knights charge the dogs. Only the one in the middle makes it. It was a long charge. I think he needed a 10 or 11, and he was due, and he made it. His other lance on the left flank there move up towards my scouts, which is perfectly fine. I knew they were going to die, so what can you do? And other than that, I think his peasant bowmen, well, no, they stay put, and his trebuchet crew stays put, and that's it. There's a better picture of his one lance failing a charge and the other lance making it. And nothing happens in magic, so we go over to shooting. And his first trebuchet, the one on the far left there in the top corner, misfires, and misfires 6. Not a big deal, but hey, I'll take it, because, anytime a trebuchet is not trying to kill me is good. And then, lo and behold, he fires with the other trebuchet and misfires 1. Yeah, I don't know what I did right or what he did wrong, but man, two misfires in a row, both ends of the spectrum, and one of the trebuchets explodes, which is great for me, but man, the dice rolls for poor Vince, I feel bad for him. I mean, what can you do? But man, I can't make this stuff up. You're seeing it live, well, semi-live, I guess. It's always live in the pictures. I don't know. And then we go into combat, and if you can believe it, his lance has no problem killing all five of my dogs. There was enough characters and infantry and stuff like that in there to just eat me alive. And then after a lot of debate, this took a minute. Vince, wow, decided not to overrun his lance into my corpse cart with my level 1 and everything like that. Instead, he turned to face my skeleton warriors, and that was interesting. I got to be honest, I didn't expect that. So we go over here to top of 2 after movement, and my skeleton warriors charge his Pegasus Knights, and they flee. So I redirected into the lance, and I made it. It was actually a pretty difficult charge. My kitty charged the, what's it called, the Pegasus Knights after they had already fled, because then they were in my arc, they were within range, and I just wanted to keep them moving. So I charged with them again, and it also gets rid of that whole feign flight thing too. So they fled from the kitty, and then they kept going, and they ended up over there. The kitty didn't have a chance in hell. The Coven Throne moves up to try to get closer so that maybe it could charge next turn, because I wasn't expecting his Pegasus Knights to go into the middle like that. My archers move up somewhat because they need to get into this combat soon. And my scouts move up to plug the gap. The other War Kitty on the left side there moves in such a way that he can countercharge the lance that's about to eat my scouts. Running into the flank there would be ideal. And then my other unit of scouts, you can kind of see them in the top left there. They move up so they can get a better shot at the trebuchet. And that's really it. There's a better picture of my skeleton warriors slamming into his lance, and I was very careful while maximizing models to not put any character in base to base with this unit until I figured out what they had. Also, my spirit host went into the flank just for the extra combat res and to see what he had. If he had magical attacks and he put it into the spirit host, so be it, but I wanted to see if I could possibly, just get that little bit extra combat res. If they weren't stubborn, they weren't going to be steadfast, and maybe I could break them, and that would be great. During the magic phase, I get Van Hel's Dance Macabre off on my Skeleton Warriors, and I get Curseers off on his Lance that I'm in base to base with. Unfortunately, Curseers doesn't do anything to his unit. He either makes his ward saves or I just fail to hit any 6s. But Van Hel's will help. Getting to reroll my hits is going to be sweet. And then over here, this was insane. My scouts shoot at his trebuchet. I hit like 4 or 5 times, which was amazing, and then I roll 3 6s to wound, finishing off the last 3 crew and getting rid of his trebuchets before they could do anything. Yeah, I couldn't believe it either, but what an amazing shot by my dead scouts. God, I like that unit. Then over here, we go into combat, and it's actually kind of embarrassing. I lose one guy. I don't even remember fully what happens. I think I kill one knight, maybe. Actually, I don't even think I do that much. There is a challenge to shoot. I think my unit champion accepts it. I think 1 wound is done to my unit champion, and he dies, and that's it. I don't think anything else happens. I do a lot of wounds, but you're talking about a 2-up armor save. I'm only strength 3, and they couldn't care less. It dinged off their armor. Don't get me wrong, I made these knights look really cool, but I didn't kill any of them. But their counterattacks just flubbed. Just couldn't hit, couldn't wound. It was insane. In the end, just because I charged, I think I ended up winning, or I don't remember if it was I won or if it was a draw or what. But bottom line is nothing happens, and as you can see, 1 skeleton warrior's dead, and that's it. So we go over here to bottom of 2 after movement, and not a whole lot. The Pegasus Knights do rally, but they don't, go anywhere because there's no longer feign flight because they ran twice, one from a charge and one from another charge as they were already fleeing, so it's no longer feign flight. Now it's just, failed panic. His other lance tries to charge skeleton warriors and fails by an inch, missed it by one. The lance over there by my scouts in the bottleneck, they charge my scouts, make it all day, every day, no problem. And other than that, I can't remember if anything really happens. I don't think so. There's a better picture of his lance failing a charge on my skeleton warriors, and that was a gift from the gash. During his magic phase, he gets Ice Shard Blizzard off on my Skeleton Warriors, not because I wanted him to or because I let it go, but because it was Irresistible Force, and he ends up miscasting 6. As you can see, he places the Heptalet over the Prophetess, and boom. One of his characters now has another wound on him. I believe that's his general. His prophetess takes a wound, and 2 knights die. His general did take a wound last turn. I don't remember how, if it was a challenge or what, but he did take a wound, and yeah, that was pretty significant that he failed his lookout, sir. But yeah, the miscast also ends his magic phase, which is kind of nice. Nothing happens in shooting, so we go into combat, and as you can see, the Grail Knights had no problem destroying my scouts. They do not overrun, but they do reform in such a way as this. So my kitty can still charge, get corner and corner to the horse there, and life should be okay. That is his paladin sitting over there on the corner that the kitty can charge at, so maybe I can get a character. That'd be cool. And then over here, last turn, I forgot to mention it. No, I don't think it was last turn. This turn, my Tomb King accepts a challenge, and we go Simo. My general ended up killing his general, but his general ended up killing my general. And yeah, kind of sucked. I think it was the curse that killed his general, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's really the only thing I'm able to do. He wins this combat, and as you can see, a significant amount of my skeleton warriors are dead now. I can bring them back, so there is still hope, but crap. But yeah, I lose this combat, and as you can see, I'm starting to run out of skeletons. With all that said and done, we go over here to top 3 after movement, and I charge, and I don't do very well. The kitty tries to charge into the lance that's in with the skeleton warriors and fails, not a surprise. And the Coven Throne tries to charge his lance. I needed boxcars, an 11 or 12, I'm not really sure. I needed a big number in order to hit, and I didn't make it. It was close, though. I think I rolled like a 9, so it was very close, but it wasn't enough, and so I didn't make it. My archers move up slightly so I can shoot at the lance, just why not? And the red kitty on the left flank there charges into the flank of the Grail Knights, hitting them and going corner to corner. So at the very minimum, I'm hoping to at least keep that unit stuck there for a while, which will be very nice. Meanwhile, my scouts move up to harass his peasants because why not? There's a better picture of my kitty and my Coven Throne failing charges into the lances, respectfully. And there's a better picture of the other kitty slamming into the Grail Knights. Right now he's only in base-to-base with the Paladin, but that's fine. I'm really hoping for some killing blow and a failed ward save. During the magic phase, I'm able to get Invocation and a Heck off and heal like 10 of my Skeleton Warriors, 8 to 10 of my Skeleton Warriors, which is huge. I'm also able to get Hellish Vigor off on my Skeleton Warriors, so rerolling wounds will put more pressure on him to have to roll saves, which shouldn't be hard. He's still got a 2-up, but anything is better than nothing, right? Then over here, I get, not Gaze in the Gash. I don't remember what I do. I think my archers, that's what it is. My archers are on point, and they kill, I think, like 2. No, I'm sorry. This isn't the archers. This is the casket. The Casket of Souls hits his unit of Pegasus Knights, and he rolls really high on the leadership, even with the reroll, and because his general's dead, so he can't use that leadership anymore. 2.5 Pegasus Knights are dead right now. They do pass their panic check, but whoo, I love that casket. I really, really do. And as you can see, there's only 3 peasant bowmen left, which I'm very pleased about. I won't lie. It did, I think, bounce into the lance next to him, but I think he made his leadership check there. Nothing happens in shooting, so we go into combat, and the kitty is able to do nothing. I charged into his flank and maybe did a wound. I honestly can't remember. Charge, flank, and a wound to 2 ranks and a banner. He has a musician. I lose by 1, but it's a kitty. It's an arcane construct and doesn't care. He did want to reform, but he couldn't. He couldn't get in between the impassable terrain, so he was stuck there. And I don't think he caught that. He was a little upset with himself for missing that and being stuck in that situation where he couldn't round and get more attacks against the kitty. And he didn't want to move him forward or anything like that to get more attacks with the kitty because he didn't like that positioning. And so we stayed right here. Then over here in combat, now that I'm weapon skill 2, his knights are having a field day with me. I think... No, I'm not able to even do 1 wound. Not even 1 more knight dies. But instead, I lose a whole bunch of skeleton warriors, and I'm down to this after combat, and it hurts. So we go over here to bottom of 3 after movement, and there's a decent amount. The Pegasus Knights go into, or try to go into the Coven Throne, or just, no, I'm sorry. They just fly over towards the Coven Throne, and they end up right where they are. But the Lance charges the kitty and makes it. I'm like, oh no. So, yeah, that's not good. The War Kitty's in some trouble here. I'm hoping for the best, but... I don't know. I really need to hope that I get some killing blow through, and I need as much combat res as I can get, but we'll see. We'll see. That's a lot of attacks coming to Kitty's way. Other than that, I don't think he's got anything else, because everything else he has is deader in combat. There's a better picture of his lance slamming into the kitty, and that's going to hurt. During the magic phase and shooting phase, nothing happens, so we go into combat, and lo and behold, the kitty is able to kill 2 of the knights. I end up losing this combat, but after all is said and done, there's 4 wounds on the kitty. He's got 1 left. The kitty might just survive this. At the very minimum, he's held him up for a turn, and that's huge. Then over here, the kitty, the guys on top are able to killing blow the paladin, I believe, and then the kitty's able to do 1 more wound into the unit, and I end up winning this combat, but they're steadfast and they don't go anywhere. Still can't reform to face, so that's too bad. Then over here in combat, it starts to go a little bit better. I get 1 wound off on his BSB. I think I get 1 wound off on his other paladin in the middle there, and I'm able to kill 1 of the knights with the unit. I do take some serious damage, though. I do lose this combat, and I'm stuck with about 43 models left in the unit total. I'm toying with bringing my Karn Wraith over, but I just don't want to give up. So I like having the parry saves, and I'm afraid to move over, and I know he's got magical attacks, so I don't know what to do, so he's just staying over on the side for right now. But I'm hoping if I can just hold on a little bit longer, I can grind these guys down or get something into this lance to help the skeleton warriors before it's too late. So we go over here to top of 4 after movement, and the Coven Throne charges the Pegasus Knights because why not? The skeletons move up a little bit. The Corpse Cart charges into the lance with the kitty because I'm grabbing at straws. I'm hoping charge and a flank, the +2, helps the kitty win this combat because if he rolls 1-6, I'm screwed. My archers stay put to shoot at his peasant bowman a little bit more, and that's about it. There's a better picture of my corpse cart slamming into the lance, and I'm looking forward to that. And there's a better picture of my Coven Throne slamming into the Pegasus Knights, and I'm really looking forward to that because I love the Coven Throne. During the shooting phase, nothing happens in magic, so in the shooting, I shoot at his peasant bowman, kill 1, and they panic, and they start to flee. And I'll let you know right now, they never rally. Then over here in combat, my Vampire does really, really well. The Coven Throne does really, really well, but his remaining attacks he puts into the Vampire and is able to slip to 2 wounds through like he's butt naked. I don't care what anybody says. 4 ward saves have a statistical probability of being rolled at like 12%. I can't make 4 upward saves. I'm thinking of saving myself some points, just giving everything I have a 5 upward save and calling it good, because I just don't make these things. The Vampire dies. The Coven Throne is perfectly fine. I win this combat, and they break. It's just a unit champion left. I do try to get him. I do pursue, but he gets away. But you know, it is what it is, and the Pegasus Knight is now below 25%, so it needs snakes to rally. So it's going well on my end. I'm okay with that. The Pegasus Knights are on their way out, and if he does rally next turn, good on him. My Coven Throne will be right frickin' there, and hopefully Impact Hits alone will be enough to take that thing out. Then over here, unbelievable. He's not able to wound a kitty. Impact hits do a wound, and the corpse cart, the necromancer's able to do a wound, and one of the guys on top, I believe, killing blow one of his guys at strength 4. So 3 knights die. I take 0 wounds. He flubs his attacks back. I win this combat. He's steadfast, and he breaks and gets run down by the corpse cart. The corpse cart is the one that caught him. I believe the corpse cart went 11 inches to his 10. The kitty only went like 6 or 7. Could not believe it. The level 1 necromancer on a corpse cart, proxy of course, actually helped break and run down a lance. Yeah, not a bad first outing for a level 1 necromancer on a corpse card, huh? Then over here, again, I'm grinding a little bit here. He doesn't do too much to me. I ended up losing this combat. I don't think I did anything to him. It doesn't look like I did anyway. I think now, though, my ranks are helping me out because I got 3 ranks and a banner to his 1 rank, 2 banners, and that's about it. I think I'm actually winning these combats, or I'm not losing them by many. And as you can see, I have about 38 models left on the or on the fight. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. I won't lie to you. Over here, the kitty is able to kill, I think, 2 or 3 more of the Grail Knights, and I think he takes a wound for his trouble. So flank and 2 wounds to wound, rank and a banner. I believe he wins this combat by 1. Kitty don't care because arcane constructs take -1 from combat res. And now his knights were able to turn to face. Killing off those last couple made it so he could slip in, and he does. And as you can see, now they're turned to face the kitty. But I gotta be honest, even though, he's got a lot more attacks coming at me now, I'm feeling pretty good about my chances here. So looking forward to see how this works out. We go over here to bottom of 4 after movement, and the only thing that really happens is his Pegasus Knight fails to rally and continues to flee. Plain simple and to the point, he's off the table before he's going to rally on snakes. There's a better picture of his Pegasus Knight trying to get home as quick as he can. Nothing happens during the magic shooting, so we go into combat, and the kitty is able to kill 3 of the Grail Knights. 3 of them. He takes another wound for his trouble, but 3 wounds to wound and a banner. I believe I win this combat by 1. He's steadfast, and he doesn't go anywhere, but the kitty is kicking ass and taking names. God. Not to mention, look how cool that one looks. No, that's not mine. That is Vince's kitty, and I was just honored that he let me borrow it, because what a beautiful model. And then the paint job. Oh, so pleased. Then we go over here, and holy crap. The BSB dies, and I believe one of his knights dies over here. I win this combat. He's able to make his break check thanks to his, well, not to his BSB, but he makes his break check. But I got to be honest with you, I think it was like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. We'd been hanging out for 12 hours playing nothing but Warhammer. This was his 4th game. And the BSB dying to Skeleton Warrior attacks, his dice rolling progressively getting worse and worse and worse. At this point, Vince just threw in the towel. He was just like, this is it. This is the end. We're done. Sorry, but you've won this game. You've beaten me. And there it is. There's the end of the game, just as we left it. And yeah. So it was still a really fun game. Vince was exhausted. I could tell. Still a great sport. Don't get me wrong. His dice rolls were going straight to pot. Things just weren't working out for him at all. But at the whole time, smiling, making jokes, taking pictures, laughing, and stuff like that. This was still a very enjoyable game. I have no complaints. I hope he doesn't have any complaints. If he does, I apologize, Vince. I'm sorry. Sometimes my undead don't know when to quit. But yeah. Again, really fun game, and we'll get to the recap in just a moment, because right now, this game is over.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Hey guys, you know these tokens, you've seen them 100 times, and you know what? Every time you see them, if you haven't bought them yet, you're just wasting time. Get these tokens. All of the lores of whatever spell you're casting, all the wound counters. You see me use them in every single game, and you've never heard me since I've been using the counters going, I can't remember how many wounds I had, or what spell was on this guy, or whatever. And they're flawless. They're awesome. You're the envy of everyone you play against. Send Token Gal an email. Get these tokens. They're dirt cheap, but they're solid gold quality, guys. I'm telling you, you cannot go wrong. A lot of people have already ordered them, and nobody's returned any. Nobody's even asked to return any. All they do is they order more. Get yours. Get them soon. You're wasting time, and these are totally worth it. Tell her Tremendous sent you. Hey guys, I got another great deal for you. Movement trays. We all use them. We all need them. If you're watching this report, you have some or you need some. And do I have the vendor for you? This guy makes solid metal movement trays. I mean, cuts them to your specifications using a galvanized metal. It's not that cheap, thin, weak aluminum. This stuff is sturdy. I'm using them. I used them all throughout this game. Take a look at the pictures. They're all in there. I love these trays. They're metal, so they auto-magnetize, well, provided you put magnets on your guys. And he does them dirt cheap, guys. I'm telling you. He's got an eBay page. There's an email on here. Get a hold of this guy. Get yourself some movement trays and get yourself organized. You're going to be thrilled. You can paint them. You can do everything. These things are awesome. My local game store guy is literally in contact with this guy so that he can become a vendor. That's how high quality these things are. So I'm telling you guys, give this guy an email. Check out his eBay page. Get yourself some movement trays and stop playing like a Neanderthal. Tell him Tremendous sent you. You won't regret it. Yeah, that's right. I don't know if you were paying attention or not, but we got a few new pictures. So not only does Unleashed Wargaming paint amazing models for commission and stuff like that, send him an email. He does excellent work, as you've seen from the pictures. Not only does he do all the different Magic lore cards for Warhammer Fantasy, I mean every lore. You want Storms of Magic? Send him an email. You want Lore of Fire? Send him an email. You want every lore that's ever been out in 8th edition? Send him an email. These things are solid. They're laminated. They're on cardstock. They're Photoshop made. They're amazing. And they're good. They're well priced, guys. I'm telling you. And now he's also doing 40K cards, the psychic stuff or whatever. I don't play 40K, but if you do, there's nothing wrong with that. But there is something wrong with it if you don't get these cards and if you don't have your models painted by them. Just throwing it out there. Just, you may, if you feel guilty, that's because you know you're wrong. But send this guy an email, get your models looking good, get the cards that you need, get your real game going, and tell him Tremendous sent you. You're not going to regret it. So in the end, it was a victory for Lord Tremendous. Vince ended up quitting at the bottom of 4. I ended up losing my Tomb King, a unit of scouts, my Direwolves, and my Spirit Hosts. He ended up losing pretty much everything. He surrendered in bottom of 4. And his rules, even if you totaled up what was left, I think he had some Pegasus Knights, a Pegasus Knight left on the table, which probably wouldn't have rallied. His Knights in with my Skeleton Warriors, the other unit of Knights in with my second kitty, my Coven Throne and my other kitty were going to turn around, and then top of 6, probably charge into whatever they could. So more than likely he was going to lose everything, and that's we both pretty much agreed that I had it. So in my club, if you surrender, everything just dies. Vince was an honorary member of our club, but he doesn't have to adhere to our rules. So however you want to slice it, it was a victory. I don't really know how to say exactly what he lost, so you be the judge. However you want to put it together. But he was exhausted. Poor Vince, man. I could tell. Just the caffeine had worn off. He was I mean, the dude had been traveling for a week straight. 3,000 or so, 3 to 4,000 miles already under his belt, and he was rolling like raw butt. I mean, just raw butt, and it's too bad. To be honest with you, it was amazing he lasted as long as he did. Could you imagine traveling for a week straight playing nothing but Warhammer? And then here it is, like day 7, almost midnight. You've still got an hour or two of driving to do up north, to the north, trying to get to his next destination. Yeah, yeah, I totally understood. No hard feelings, and I've been there. We've all been there when the dice have just turned on us. His trebuchets double misfiring in the same turn and losing one, and then my ninja friggin' scouts taking out the other one like right afterwards. Incredibly lucky, really, really crazy that happened. I'm not upset about it, but man, that alone really turned the game around in my favor. And then having 2 kitties on the table was a lot of fun. I mean, I know it was unlikely to ever really work out this well again. I'm going to need somebody who's exhausted and rolling poorly to play against me. So maybe I'll implement a rule that in order to play me, first you have to run 2 miles with, winter clothes on or something. But seems to work out well for me. But yeah, I don't know how long I'm going to run to double kitties. I do enjoy it. I love the kitties. I love the models. But it feels like too much of a good thing. It's like eating all the chocolate instead of just enough. You start to get a sour feeling in your stomach after a while. So I'm going to play it for another few games. I enjoy the double kitties. I do. But I'm kind of missing the Morghasts. I kind of want to play with them again. I don't dislike the Black Knights. I kind of miss them and stuff like that. So, but having the dual kitties is really neat. And so you'll see them again. You'll see them again for a couple of battle reports. I don't know how much longer I'm going to keep them in the list though. It's not meshing the way I want it to mesh. The Necromancer on the Corpse Cart, however, that is a ton of fun. Really crazy that he helped break the lance and run them down. I know what a crazy fluke that was. I know the odds of that ever happening again are slim to 0, but I like it. I like the Necromancer on the Corpse Cart so much that I bought a very specific model in order to be my new Necromancer. And the next day, I spent hours, converting a new Corpse Cart, kind of Tomb King-y with enough vampire left in it so that everybody, wouldn't be able to dispute the fact that it is a corpse cart. Yeah, really enjoyed that, and I want to try out the Balefire and stuff like that, so I'll probably implement that in my next game. New list, though, is coming along really nice. I'm starting to get the bugs all ironed out just in time for 8th edition to end. Well, we'll see how I convert it when we go to Age of Sigmar. But this was an absolutely great game. Thrilled to get all 3 solid games in with Vince. My club really enjoyed having him around. It's not every day that we have a renowned, internet celebrity in the store, so that was really cool. He's always welcome back. Everybody enjoyed having him around. He gave some great advice to some people, like how to paint and stuff, and it's already paying off in dividends. In fact, they've all asked me to thank Vince when I talk to him again. So Vince, consider this my club saying thank you for all your advice and for stopping by and just being an all-around cool guy, giving us some good games, giving us some good company. We kind of get sick of each other. Okay, they just get sick of me. Anyway. But you're always welcome back. We'll always have a chair for you, buddy. And you know what? All in all, thanks for doing this. Thanks for doing the YouTube World Tour thing. That was really cool. And just coming and hanging out with us and giving us some really good games. Really appreciate it, buddy. Really do. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this battle report number 228. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. But yeah, guys, thanks.